everyone, and welcome to Rockwood Connects, the educational, informational, and entertaining podcast of the Rockwood School District. I'm Cassandra Suggs.
And I'm Emily Walshaw.
And on today's show, we are so excited because we have the one and only, the phenomenal, the leader of everyone, our Superintendent, Dr. Curtis Cain. Welcome, Dr. Cain.
Thank you very much. It's good to see you both.
Thank you for our inaugural show. We're
Absolutely.
excited about it.
And thank you for the invite.
You're welcome.
All right, well, we're going to jump right in. Dr. Cain, what is the most exciting thing for you as a superintendent for back to school season?
For back to school season, so there's a myriad of emotions that the community engages in. There are some students that feel a variety of ways about the return to school. I will tell you that there are parents that are typically, maybe with the exception of kindergartners, excited about the start of the school year. And then there are staff that are just thrilled. The student emotion changes, right? The closer the start of the school year, the closer we move to the start of the school year, the more excited they actually do become. But to see them that first week of school, it's amazing. The energy, the synergy that you feel, the excitement that students express, the transformation from nervousness on the first portion of the day by where they're actually feeling by the close of the first day of school. It all is really this complex puzzle that comes together, and it's unlike anything that you see over the course of the school year. That very special optimism, hope, and excitement about the start of the school year. It's a very, very special time of the school year.
Yes, we love that.
Yes, indeed, I agree. And speaking of special, can you think of any special childhood memories for you when you were going back to school? Anything stick out?
So I was excited most about, this would be very befitting of my personality, the backpack. Like you had to have the JanSport backpack, the right backpack, in a way you would go. Like selecting the backpack definitely got me up and going. And then this also fits my personality. I would match my textbooks and my notebooks in folders. There'd be a color alignment. There'd be an alignment. So a blue textbook would have a blue folder and then a blue spiral notebook as well. It's very concrete sequential, which is my learning style. But as weird as that may sound for some, I always enjoyed school. And so it was a very, very exciting time to get up and going and start a new school year.
Yes, and stuff like that sets you up for success. So there
True.
you go. All right, we know you have a lovely family, Dr. Cain. What about your two kiddos? Were they ready to get back to school?
Let's start with the oldest. So she's thrilled. She's headed into her junior year. So she's very excited. She's, I say this all the time, she's found her tribe, and so she's really enjoying the collegiate experience now in her third year. Our youngest, going from elementary school to middle school, definitely made a transition. But I will tell you, by the close of that first day of school, he was thrilled. His feedback was fantastic in terms of the start of the school year. It's very humbling though. Although they're in two very different spaces, for all of the complexity and thought that you have as superintendent, you're also counterbalanced by one of your primary functions, which is dad, and just trying to be there to support them in very different ways because they're in very different places. But you never stop worrying about your children. Regardless of how old they are, you never stop worrying about your children, and you celebrate their successes and their highs, and you feel their lows. So there's nothing super special about being a superintendent and dad. There's nothing about the position that eliminates that component. Every parent feels that way, and so it's a great kind of equalizer in terms of experience that you feel. But to see your kids excited about school makes you feel very good.
Yeah.
I would agree, and I agree about the parents as well. And I bet you your mom also thinks about you the first day of school. And like you said,
There's a small chance that happens. Yeah.
Speaking of parents, what would you like parents to know as they go into the 23-24 school year, Dr. Cain?
It's a great question. That this is Rockwood, and it's a district that should be proud and celebrate what it's doing for all students in the 150.6 square miles of the Rockwood School District. I think I want parents to know that I call it, the best way to describe it is this. It's a little bit like that transition when you're dropping your 5-year-old off to kindergarten. There's an unspoken trust that occurs. I call it a very sacred trust that occurs between parents and staff, not just teachers, all staff in the building. They're literally, you're walking up and you're handing off the hand of your little baby to staff members in an unspoken manner, there is a trust that occurs that says, we're going to do everything we can at home to support what's happening in the schoolhouse, and vice versa. That staff, we're going to do everything that we can to holistically support what's going on in the life of your child. And so, although it looks different as the children grow, and at some point you stop holding hand and handing them off, at some point you potentially are looking up at the child that's at your house that is now headed to school or maybe driving to school, but that notion of that trust doesn't change, and that's still there. I want parents to know that we've never forgotten about that, and we'll never forget about that. And that for all of the brick and mortar parking lots, pieces of technology that we have in our schools, the key component is the people. The key component is this notion of team in the Rockwood School District. And the key component is the fact that the more we do it together as a team, the better off everyone is going to be.
Well said.
Yes.
Well said.
Definitely. What advice or words of wisdom would you give Dr. Cain to a new freshman in the high school environment?
So in the Rockwood School District, what they don't ever have to do is go it by themselves, right? There will always be someone that's going to be there. We're in Eureka High School. So at the very start of the school year, what you saw was a freshman welcoming set of activities that occurred just in the front of this building as they headed toward a courtyard and more toward the middle of the building. And that type of practice is something that we see as students are transitioning, regardless if it's from elementary to middle or middle to high school. Quite honestly, from out of school to the beginning of school in terms of kindergarten, that's what we do in the district. Freshmen to breathe, to relax. We have signs that are up literally giving you an idea of you're down this color hallway and just look for the room number. For freshmen to get involved. I think the research not only shows it, but I think anecdotal stories also reinforce the fact that the more students are involved in some way, shape, or form, the more students are involved, the better they are going to not only do and feel in terms of performance and just their own kind of sense of self-awareness, the better they're going to feel about their time within school. Get involved. Take that brave step, and it may feel as though this outward, very brave step that you're taking, but I promise you, there are not only staff, there are not only parents, but there are students that will be there. You will not be by yourself. Get involved.
You remember your freshman year?
My freshman year?
Uh-huh.
Do I remember?
Uh-huh.
I do remember.
Yeah, I do too. I was nervous.
Absolutely nervous. Absolutely nervous.
So what message do you have for our staff, Dr. Cain, as we enter this new year?
So everyone knows that our theme this year is to focus on our future. I've said this and will continue to say it. The classroom is the reason we have a school district, but not only the academic needs of students, let's just make sure that we're making sure everyone's feeling a sense of welcome, the sense of belonging within our schools. Our staff are trained. We have some of the best educational staff in the nation, I believe, not only in classrooms, but other spaces. Regardless of what the position happens to be, we have fantastic staff members. Let's just remember that as much as we talk about almost 20,000 students, at the end of the day for families, it's about that 1, 2, 3, however many children they happen to have that they're sending to school in the Rockwood School District. That's what parents are also focused on as well. And so staff, just to remember, as much as we talk about family for staff, it's important that we have that same sense of family when it comes to students as well.
Yeah.
Agreed, yes.
Okay, Dr. Cain, we've been talking a lot about school and academics, and we've been back in school for a couple of weeks now, and we're entering the fall season. So I have to ask, what fall sport are you most excited about the return for? Basketball, football? What are your thoughts on that?
In our schools?
Yes.
We have a myriad of fantastic activities for students, not just athletic, but
Yes.
there are co-curricular and extracurricular activities that are happening as well. The performance and literally the growth that students experience is what I'm most excited about. I am not going to identify a single activity or sport, but all of them. Every single time I'm out and I'm seeing soccer, whatever it happens to be, you see an excitement, right? And you see, quite honestly, this notion of involvement and investment by students as well. I see people in the stands. I see people along the sidelines. But what I see is us being us and doing what we've always done as a district. I'm excited that we are where we are at this particular point in time, and I'm really, really excited about what's coming in the future.
There is an excitement in the air, isn't
Absolutely.
there? There really is. You can feel it
Absolutely.
coming with it. So finish this question for me, please. This sentence, this statement, Dr. Cain. Rockwood is.
I truly believe Rockwood I've rewritten your statement. So Rockwood is one of the true jewels of school districts in the state of Missouri. I firmly believe that. I firmly and truly believe that to be true.
I don't disagree.
Yes, we love that. All right, on behalf of the Educational Equity and Access Department, Dr. Cain, thank you for joining us on our first episode of Rockwood Connects. For our listeners and our viewers, you can catch us on YouTube, on our department webpage, or any podcast platform.
Thank you, Emily, and I think you've done a great job.
Thank
you
you
again, Dr. Cain.
My pleasure. Thank you both so
You're
much.
welcome, and thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you stay connected to us so that you can find out what our next episode is. Thank you on behalf of the Rockwood School District. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.